National Nutrition Natural Health Reviews. 3 minutes of the latest naturopathic info with Canada's leading nutrition experts. Watch, learn, and get healthy naturally.
Hi there, I'm Naturopathic Dr. Jonathan Beatty, a natural health expert here at nationalnutrition.ca. Today I want to talk about a topic that I really love, which is leaky gut. The reason I like dealing with this one is I see it all the time in my practice, and it has huge implications on your health. Your gut is a long tube that runs from your mouth to the other end, essentially to your rectum or your anus. It's often something we don't really think about, but humans are basically big, funny shaped donuts. We've got this hollow tube running through us, and technically anything inside of that tube is outside of our body. Now, this is an important concept because what happens in leaky gut is essentially that barrier that is your gut becomes compromised, and it allows bacteria, yeast, toxins, undigested food proteins to cross over the barrier into our bloodstream, where it's now going to cause some sort of immune upset. And so this is why it's so important that we get leaky gut under control, because leaky gut impairs the intestine's normal function. It actually makes it harder to absorb nutrients. You would think because it's leaky that they would just leak in, but oftentimes with leaky gut comes inflammation, and that impairs normal enzyme production, leading to impaired digestion and absorption of nutrients. And so leaky gut actually is hugely detrimental to your long-term health. The other thing you need to know about the gut is 80% of your immune cells are housed in the gut. So when you start disrupting the immune system function in the gut, you're going to create all sorts of systemic problems. And in fact, like all sorts of gut pathologies can be associated with things like on your skin, psoriasis. So sometimes gut impairments and leaky gut are actually associated with conditions like psoriasis or conditions like arthritis. And so this is where getting your leaky gut under control is so important. Now, the other thing that's highly concentrated in the intestine is your nervous system. In fact, you have more nerves running to your intestine or your gut than you do in your entire spinal cord. Okay, that just shows you as an example of how important the gut is to your body and how much signaling is done between your gut and the brain. We actually call it the gut-brain connection. It can have an impact on your mood, it can have an impact on your concentration, your energy. And so for this reason, it's really important that we heal a leaky gut, because as I've demonstrated, it's going to impact your immune system, it's going to impact your neurological health, and that's really going to be detrimental to you. So how leaky gut gets created? Well, it can be created by food allergies or food sensitivities, which create an inflammatory response. It can be caused by infections, so bacteria, virus, or parasitic infections. They could all cause a leaky gut. And then one of probably the major causes in our world is intoxicants or toxins. And in fact, some of them are food pesticides. So many of the pesticides that we actually spray on our food, the way in which they kill the insect is by creating severe leaky gut in the insect that causes it to die. So that just shows you how impactful leaky gut can be on an organism's health. Now, in a human, that dose of pesticide may not be enough to kill us, but it can be enough to induce leaky gut in us, which can impact our health chronically, and that'll eventually lead to our death due to a variety of other concerns that were induced by the leaky gut originally. So this is why I've always been very pro-organic, is because you're trying to limit your exposure to these toxins, which have actually been studied in human trials, and they've been shown to cause leaky gut in humans. This is not something that is just, being made up about pesticides. The clinical trials do exist that do show that many pesticides actually have a negative impact on the gut health, and that corrupts your intestinal barrier, thus allowing bacteria and other infections in, allowing other toxins in, allowing undigested food proteins in. Now all of a sudden your immune system is going to develop reactions to these food proteins, and you may develop sensitivities or intolerances to foods because you have a leaky gut. So this is why it's so important. So things you can do to help heal a leaky gut: first step, eat organic. Why? You want to reduce your risk of those pesticide residues that may be inducing the leaky gut. You want to make sure you intake adequate vegetables, because those are going to deliver a lot of the nutrients that your gut needs to heal. You'll want to intake amino acids like L-glutamine, which is the required amino acid. It's required as fuel for the gut cells so that they have the energy to heal, but it's also required structurally by the gut cells so that they have the structure to actually be able to rebuild themselves and heal that leaky gut, basically block up all the leakages. And so that's where the L-glutamine plays a role. Supplementing with a probiotic can be very, very effective because the healthy bacteria actually stimulate the gut to try and heal itself. In fact, there's a specific bacteria called Bifidobacter infantis that's been shown to secrete a chemical that stimulates the gut to heal itself. And so this is actually why, like, all children are born with leaky guts, and that leaky gut is healed when this Bifido infantis secretes this chemical that tells them, okay, time to close up the leaky gut. We're able to digest our food more effectively now. We no longer need to have a leaky gut. And that's why it's called Bifido infantis, is because it's a bacteria typically found in infants and young children. And it's because young children's digestive systems are immature. They don't digest foods properly. So they're designed to be leaky on purpose. Whereas in adults, our gut is supposed to be healed up nice and tight to prevent any type of infection or toxin from entering our bodies without our permission. So this is why leaky gut is so important. I hope you understand a little bit better about what leaky gut is and what you can do to try and minimize your leaky gut. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Any questions or comments, post them below. And always remember, knowledge is health.